Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. Bots, you know them and you most likely hate them, and thankfully it appears, at least based on this devlog post, that Gaijin is taking a stand against them. As you know, they have of course been doing it, but now they are finally coming out and saying something about it. So basically, long story short, they released a dev blog, so to speak, a post regarding bots, and they've actually said that over the most recent few months, we've seen a pretty large spike in bot usage in War Thunder. And pretty much the way that they say it is that the whole reason for bots is that these people, they take a bot, basically, they start a new account with it, they boost up an account via, false playing, bot playing, whatever, really stupid playing, and then they go ahead and sell that account later for it to be used by an actual player, and they have a bunch of vehicles on it. Basically, at least in theory, it takes a lot of the groundwork out for grinding at least some tiers of tech trees. Now, that being said, this entire post are basically saying that they've been conducting studies, they've been banning people, so on and so forth. In fact, actually, they say that they banned 215 accounts just last weekend, and basically they're trying to do this. Gaijin is trying to do this where they are not banning people falsely. So they are making sure, they said that they've been doing comprehensive study to understand how these bots operate, what motivates their creators, and most importantly, how we can most effectively combat them. And they want to be able to be careful and eliminate any margin of error and make sure that they can avoid any false positives when detecting them. So basically, they are doing it where I think the reason, at least based on this post, that we're not seeing as many bots deleted as we might want to is so that they can make sure that they're not getting rid of legitimate players. And they actually say here that there are plenty of players that might seem a little suspicious, but they're just real players. And that is in and of itself a very difficult thing to determine when you have somebody who might not be skilled and they might just act like a bot, or maybe they step away from their computer and then, they're like 30 kilometers off in the distance and they act like a bot in that regard, but, maybe they just had to go to the bathroom or something and they're being reported as bots. So Gaijin is taking steps to make sure that they are getting rid of all of this, but they're making sure that they're not getting rid of players who are legitimate but just act a little bit maybe noobish, or might have a few instances where they have to go to the bathroom or something and they just step away from their computer. Now, again, like I said before, they say bots are primarily used to artificially boost accounts, which are then sold for profit, a practice which sometimes also involves the illicit use of stolen credit card information. There are also cases where bot software is sold to those who wish to boost their player accounts themselves. All these practices breach our in-game rules and hurt both our players and the game as a whole, and I totally agree. And they even say here, firstly, we want to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have reported this problem and continue to do so. Your proactive participation is what makes our community strong and resilient. The recent surge in the number of bots in our game has been a concern for all of us, and we're working hard to tackle the problem. So Gaijin, again, knows that this is a problem, and they, like I said, they've been conducting a comprehensive study to understand how they operate, what motivates their creators, and how to combat them. So this is obviously a big deal. Like I said, they've already banned hundreds of accounts over just the course of a weekend, which is great. So further, they say that, they deeply regret instances where some past reports did not result in user bans, whatever, right? Your voices matter to us, game's fairness and integrity. Obviously, that makes sense, right? But they say furthermore, to streamline our understanding and handling of the bot problem, we will be introducing separate categories specifically for bot reporting in a few days. That's pretty damn good. However, we fully understand that banning each individual bot-linked account is a temporary solution and are therefore dedicated to finding a long-term solution to ensure a proper gameplay experience in War Thunder is maintained. We are exploring various options and are even prepared to implement drastic measures such as CAPTCHA before or in battle for accounts that we identify as suspicious, if necessary, to curb bot usage. So, if you are that type that kind of has bot-like behavior, but you're legitimate, you might start seeing CAPTCHA in-game. Now, of course, in theory, that would help to reduce bot behavior, but, of course, if there is money to be made via bots, then people will, Gaijin will always be one step behind. unfortunately. And that's just the case when it comes to anything, right? Like you can only respond to the threats of today. But the people who have already made these threats, who have already done these things, they're already working on tomorrow's threats, whereas Gaijin might not be aware of the next sort of botting behavior and things like that. Bots might get good enough where, if you have basic AI, especially with some really good companies, botting might get good enough where it's like, okay, they might act like noobs, but they can still get kills and things of that nature. So it's something that you have to, consider that in the future, these might not even be, working, right? Even CAPTCHAs. You imagine that if you're playing the battle and you're just about to take a shot and a CAPTCHA comes up where you have to select what a motorcycle is, and then it tells you that even though you selected literally every single part of the motorcycle, you didn't actually select every single part of the motorcycle. That would suck. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if it does, hopefully it's only used very sparingly to those who they really suspect of having bots. Now, they say also, we will have a clearer understanding of the timeline once we release our next major update and economy roadmaps, updates that currently require most of our time. Rest assured that our commitment to resolving this issue remains unwavering, and our efforts are geared towards implementing these countermeasures as soon as possible. So basically they're saying the economy roadmap is taking up most of their time. Now, they also mentioned the next major update that should be coming out sometime in early September. So I would expect devlogs probably within about 2 or 3 weeks. And also the summer event, I would expect devlogs hopefully this week, but if not, next week. But I would expect the event to start next week. So that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is a good start, but basically it's just Gaijin informing us. They're not saying this is what we're going to do. They're basically saying this is what's been happening. So thanks so much, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe if you guys like this sort of content. I also do, obviously, reviews and all that. By the way, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.